Years of traveling in the off-season has spoiled us. We do our best to go places avoiding the peak season and have discovered a couple tips to help you find a little elbow room in the world.
The first 2 tips involve where you go. Tip number 1, go to the back. When you arrive at your location, let's say it's a museum or Disneyland, make a beeline for the back and work your way out. As the mass of people are coming in an hour or 2 later, you will be avoiding the crowd.
Though there's always more crowd.
But somehow it just works because there's like an influx, and as people go into the thing, they disperse.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you come back out and hit the middle, it's not as concentrated as if you're right at the front. Tip 2 is do the most popular thing first. If there's a special exhibit or a very popular ride, for instance, hit that first and then do everything else.
Like this video if you like to avoid crowds. How you get in. Check for advance tickets, city passes, and reservations. These things will help you to avoid the lines and ensure that you have a spot right away.
Do you have a tip for avoiding crowds? We would love to hear about it. Leave a comment below. When you go is also important. Tip number 4, go in the off season. Sometimes this is called the shoulder season, which is the spring and the fall, but really it depends on where you're going. If you are going someplace very warm, often the peak season will be January and February, and the shoulder season will be more like November or March. So it just depends on the location. The point is to go in just on the outside of the peak season. They'll still have services and usually the same great weather, but you will have far fewer crowds.
Tip number 5, work in the off hours. So try to get to the restaurant a little bit earlier or later. Pop in for the last hour at a museum or go on a weekday.
And tip number 6, get there the minute it opens. I can't tell you what a difference this makes. If you're the first one in line, you will avoid most of the crowd. You'll be in and into wherever it is that you're enjoying before the mass of people show up. And as you're working your way out, they're working their way towards the back and you avoid the crowds entirely. Make a beeline for the back. Play the popularity game. Check for loopholes to avoid lines. Use the shoulder seasons, keep odd hours, and be an early bird.
Subscribe to get a tip every Thursday on ways that you can improve your travel. Thanks so much for watching and happy travels.